Good morning. It is July 8th, and we are continuing our stroll through the Proverbs of Solomon. We are at chapter 13, verse 10. Pride only breeds quarrels, but wisdom is found in those who take advice. So when you have pride, particularly false pride, you tend to think you're right, and others are wrong, and your opinions are superior, and other opinions are inferior. And you listen to yourself and you don't listen to others. So it breeds quarrels because you talk past one another and you don't expose yourself to others' ideas and others' concepts, which leads to the second. But wisdom is found in those who take advice, in those who will look and listen and give due consideration to what others are saying. You aren't always perfect. You aren't always right. Others have good advice as well. And so those who are humble because they understand that God's wisdom is beyond them often also seek wisdom from other people. 11. Dishonest money dwindles away. In part because it's not a safe way to get money and it can lead to others taking your money. When you're dishonest, you can lose it sometimes to the law or things of that nature. You also have other dishonest people you tend to associate with. But also in part because when you are dishonestly seeking money, and that's your goal, you're not being wise in your decisions. You're not setting up safe ways necessarily of controlling your money and watching over it. But he who gathers money little by little makes it grow. So if you're not being one of these who are extravagantly grabbing and taking risks, but you're steadily working, you're satisfied with your vocation and the opportunities God has given you to handle money and make it, and so you gather it in, just a little bit at a time. You spend what you need, and before long it just gets larger and larger. Safe investments can be a good investment. 12. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. They're going to come home from the war. My spouse is going to finally be back. And then they have to go longer away. And you're left without them. And you're mourning. I'm going to get to see my loved one. I'm going to get the opportunity to have this job. This summer, Rebecca's been waiting for a job, and because of the COVID situation, she hasn't had that job. Kind of makes you inside, huh? Okay, so hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. The husband comes home from war. You know, the sick person's cancer is in abeyance. These things fill us with joy and happiness, and it floods over and out of us. It is a tree of life. It gives a place for others to have happiness and joy and to shelter. The hope of heaven, it comes. And now we know that our loved one is with our Savior. And then when we see things in life which tear at us, we have that hope and actuality of what is to come and what will be. 13. He who scorns instruction will pay for it, but he who respects a command is rewarded. Okay? Parents tell you to do things. When you're younger, clean your room. Get good grades. Get your homework done. Go to sleep. You don't do it, there are consequences. There are consequences because the authority figure brings the consequences, but there are real life consequences as well. You don't get sleep, you get headaches, you become groggy, you become angry, you don't deal well with situations. Your room gets messy, you lose things. You have less respect for yourself and for your life. You don't complete schooling, you're not prepared for vocations which earn more money, which allow more respect, self-respect, which allow you to become honored in society. So when you respect the commands, when you do those things which are directed, they normally direct you in a good path which leads to life. 14, the teaching of the wise is a fountain of life, turning a man from the snares of death. The teaching of the wise leads you to the things of God. That's why they're wise, because they've been listening to God and learning about those things that God teaches. That leads you to righteousness, and righteousness is life. It is a chance of renewal, a chance of showing love and having good consequences for actions, and it's a chance and a certainty of eternity. 15. Good understanding wins favor, but the way of the unfaithful is hard. So, good understanding. Someone gives you information and you understand what they want you to know. You understand how to do the task, or you understand why they're not feeling good, or why your actions or your words have been seen as unkind or disrespectful. So when you come to understand these things, it changes your behavior and it allows you to have good interaction with the world and with other people. Okay? But when you're unfaithful, when you don't understand that your spouse needs your attention and your love and doesn't want you going after other people's attention and love, or when you are not completing the task that someone has given you at work, or you're not handling the money and the resources that have been put into your care. Well, this is hard. People don't trust you. You tend to not get jobs. Your marriage goes sour. People don't listen when you say things. So when you do the way of understanding, when you have good understanding, that leads to good interactions with other people. When you're not faithful, when you're not a person of integrity, when you're not a person who can be trusted with secrets, then people don't want to interact with you. They certainly don't want to give you good things. Okay, we're going to stop there, and we'll continue with the next verse very soon.